When Yogananda ji was in the ashram of Sri Yukteswar, one day Sri Yukteswar called him and asked him, Yogananda, do you love people? And Master replied, no, I love only God. And Sri Yukteswar ji kept quiet. But Master, being perceptive that he was, he understood that Yukteswar ji is not pleased with this answer. So he introspected, thought within himself. And many days later on, once again Sri Yukteswar asked him, Yogananda, do you love people? And at this time, Master smiled. And Sri Yukteswar also smiled in return. No word was exchanged between them. But what was happening here? What Master was acknowledging now was that he does not love the personalities, but he loves God present, enacting through all the people that are around me. And I think so that is the way to live in this world. It is another aspect. I don't know whether you've tried swimming, at least seen people swim. Can you save anyone who's a non-swimmer in water if you yourself don't know how to swim? No? Okay. Now, if you know to swim and the other person does not know how to swim, can you save him? Okay, I'll tell you my experience. Three of us friends went for a swimming pool, and two of us knew swimming, and the third guy did not know. So we thought, well, we'll take him to the deep end and then leave him. That is how people learn. So we did that. Yeah, no problem, and there we left him. And this guy did not make any effort. He just went down. But he came out gasping, and this other friend of mine just backed away. So I realized this guy is going to drown, so I went to save him, and he caught hold of me as if he's going to live. So he caught hold of me, and I realized that he's pushing me down, and I am also going to drown. So what luckily sense prevailed is, I realized that I cannot come up, but if I try to go down, he may leave me. And that is exactly what I did. I tried to go down, and he realized, oh, this guy is sinking. I've got to leave him. I've got to save myself. And the moment he left me, I was free. Then I went from behind and caught him from behind, and then we tried when he saved that guy. In fact, he had come for this spiritual fair. So, what this allegory was about is that a lot of us on the spiritual path hear these things and think that I am going to be helpful to everyone. I am going to pull everyone up. First and foremost, what Master said is, first establish yourself on firm ground. You can save anyone only and only if you yourself are established in the bosom of God. If I myself am going to get affected by the ups and downs of the life that is happening around me, how can I help anyone? A simple thing, whenever you have been in a situation of anxiety, panic, whatever in your life, you would have realized, whom do you go to? Whom do you look up to? Do you go to a person who is also getting anxious and saying, oh, what has happened? Your life is pathetic. You're going to die. You're going to do this. Or do you go to a person who's calm and he says, don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. Just try and realize. And that is the way to help. Unfortunately, lot of us in attachment, because you see, the life lessons are going to come to us from whom? Not from strangers on the street, or people around us. In attachment, we become dependent on the happiness of these people around us, on the approval of these people around us. That is where we are going wrong. In fact, another story happens is that when you start feeling God's love, when you sit in meditation and when you have done things like Kriya Yoga and you start feeling the welling up of that love in your heart, what is your first reaction? You want to share it. Have you ever realized, even if we are not feeling God's love in our life, we receive, say for example, a good message on WhatsApp. What is our first reaction? Let me share it. Why? Any time try to analyze why do you want to share a good thing? Because God's love, goodness multiplies the moment you share it. It is inbuilt on us. We are not analyzing it, but it is inbuilt. So when we feel the ultimate God's love, we want to share it. But unfortunately, what happens? Maybe people are not ready to receive it. So again, Master gave caution on this. That yes, you are feeling God's love. Do not go around telling people about it. In fact, there was this story of what Swami Kriyananda tells. It's a beautiful story how these masters try and teach us. Swami Kriyananda tells that this was in beginning of 1950s. A master had gotten few harmoniums with him when he had come from India, and he used to get a few of them. So, but in the US, there was no harmoniums available. Like these days, one can go and get anything. So Swami Kriyananda learned chanting and he loved it, but he had no harmonium. And he came to know that there was an Indian person in California who had a harmonium and was wanting to sell it off. So Swami Kriyananda went running, got this harmonium and came back, and he said, I was thrilled. The moment in the monastery job, he used to get a little time, he used to go run to his room, play a chant and feel blissful. And this 2-3 days had passed, and one day Master called him. He says, Walter, I think so you've got a harmonium. Yes, Master, it's beautiful. Oh, I need it. And Swami Kriyananda says, he was stunned, and he said, oh, but he's my guru. Yes, Master, it is there for you. And he says, I would like to pay for it. No, Master, it is from me to you. But he gave it, but Swami Kriyananda's own words was, I felt as if someone had snatched my wife away. And I was feeling bad. But he said, then I realized, no, he's my master, and I let go of it. It took him 2-3 days time to let go of the harmonium, the attachment for that harmonium. And then Master called him the third day. He called him, he said, take this harmonium. That day, I was asking for this harmonium, and the payment for it is because I wanted to pay for you. You will learn to open your heart through chanting. That is the love of a guru. He understood. At that very moment, Swami Kriyananda was getting attached to the harmonium. Do not get attached. When you are not attached, you will feel the love. And we hear the chanting of Swami Kriyananda. In fact, sometimes you should listen to the chanting of Swami Kriyananda, which is not sung for public, for the Satsangs. I don't know whether he must be having, and you share it. He can't complete a chant. He starts crying. He goes into ecstasy. And that is the love he felt. Who opened it? Master for him. And we too have to learn this. We have to share it with people who are ready to receive it. Another thing happened in my life was when I read Autobiography of a Yogi. Overnight I left drinking, smoking, non-veg, and I was feeling God's bliss, Guru's bliss intensely. And one of my friends who had gone to Singapore, so he came back after 2 years' time. And before that, we used to be hanging out together. So he came back when we got together. So we sat at a place which was a restaurant of his brother only. And he said, okay, let's have non-veg pizza. I said, no, I'll have pizza, veg. Might be something. Okay, let's have beer. I'll have a soft drink. Let's go out for a fag. I went out, but I didn't. तेरी तबीयत ठीक है? So I said, yeah. But I knew this guy is more into those things, so I kept quiet. He said, "Ki ho gaya hai? What has happened?" I said, "No." But he insisted. So I thought maybe he's ready. So I said, I read a book, and that book changed me. And this guy's immediate reaction was to his brother, "Chote ithe aayi, ek kitab da naam note kar." I said, wow, he is going to change. He said, किताब का नाम नोट कर, ये साड़ी घर नहीं आनी चाहिए, साड़ी भी छुट जानी है. What I am trying to say is, you go and share this love with people who are ready to receive it. Do not do this mistake, and especially in our own lives when we go around trying to propagate my guru, you come. No. We can be like both of these center leaders are sitting here. They're not running around in the street, come here, come here, come here, come to my center. This is a place, and this is a place. Anyone who realizes spiritual fear, we went out, gave out the message, 200 plus people came. How many of them resonated with it? They know a place exists in 35 sector where we can get access to these beautiful teachings. And this is where consideration for others comes from. Consideration from others for others is a thing that you have to feel within yourself. You cannot enact it. When you will feel God's love, automatically this love in your heart will want to expand, and it will include others, but it will not be a personal love. If you analyze the language we speak, it's right there in front of us. We fall in humans who love. What do we call it? He is fallen in love. She is fallen in love. Why fallen? And when we talk of a saint, he has risen in God's love. He is risen in Yogananda's love. How is this risen and falling coming? All of us access love in our heart. We know it. Does anyone say, I love you he says, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Does anyone say, I love you from the bottom of my knee? Or I love you from the bottom of my brain? Why? It is happening here. And from here, what is that love doing? If it is falling, which most human love is about, because it is about possessiveness. You are mine. Don't go and talk to that person. We don't. I'm telling you, that is what it is. What is it? Going down. That is why I fall in human love. In God's love, I expand and I rise up. And when this rising will happen, automatically you will start influencing people. The teachings are a little bit complicated. A human brain thinks in such a manner. What did Yogananda ji says? That no one can be completely free, completely liberated, unless he has freed 6 other souls. The brain says, if I'm not free, how can I free others? And I know of disciples in our path only who read this, who came to hear this, and she started going on the net and contacting people, come to Yogananda, come to Yogananda. I have to get 6 people to Yogananda. What was it? It is meaning that first you are established. When a person becomes Jivan Mukta, that means he's gone into Nirvikalp Samadhi. He is not liberated completely. Then and only then that person doesn't have to make an effort. You go close to such a person, listen to the teachings of such a person we are talking about in front of all these masters. Does anyone have to come and tell? Do they have to come and tell? It resonates. That is the power. Oh, so many of us have changed with this book, Autobiography of a Yogi. How? He was loving us an impersonal love, not a personal love. And that is what Master tried to teach us throughout. Throughout his life, like Swami Kriyananda's episode, with Daya Mata, she became personal with him. And she says he started pushing me away. She used to approach him and she used to speak to her in a rude tone. And she was not feeling it. What has happened? What have I done wrong? And she went outside Mount Washington and prayed at a place, meditated in that place, and she got the answer. I am loving him personally as my Guru. He loves me the most. Why is he not reciprocating my love? God's love is not personal, but it is the greatest love that you will ever ever experience. So, what we need to understand in consideration for others is expand your heart. Is it expanding your heart, whatever you're doing? You don't have to get into the nitty gritties of what is this person thinking about me. You cannot please everyone in this world. In fact, you can't even please one person perfectly in your life. It's not possible. So, please one person, God, through our gurus. Attune to Him, and He will give us opportunities. We come for satsang, we come for seva. Last week, a lot of us came. What did Lahiri Mahasaya do? Explain it. How did he explain it? He, towards the end of his life, had a carbuncle, and in fact, he got bedridden for the last month or so. And he was on that takhat in Varanasi, and his disciples were doing everything. Ablutions were also being performed on the takhat. And one night, the elder son of Lahiri Mahasaya, Tinkuri Mahasaya, he happened to go somewhere, and in the window of that takhat from the house, he saw Lahiri Mahasaya get up, walk across to the almirah, take out a book, and go and lie back down on that takhat. And he was listening. He says, Father, what are you doing? People have been doing seva for you for past 1 month, and I just saw you get up aram se and go and get this book and lie down again. And he replied, my devotees needed to do seva. That seva will expand their heart. I am giving them an opportunity to do the seva. When you come here and bow down and do the work, do you think he needs us? Oh, that's famous in Hindi prayer, Tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera. What are we doing? I am getting some money and giving it to him. Whose money is it anyway? I am earning it by selling something that he has made. Expand your heart and love them the way they love us, in which Yogananda ji taught. When he left his body, he had been telling his disciples, attune, I am not this body. But in spite of that, the attachment was there. Swami Kriyananda himself says that when Master passed away, they got the body back from Baltimore Hotel or whatever it is, and they kept the body in Mount Washington. And all the close disciples were there, and tears were flowing, and they were missing their guru, and some of them were asking, how will we live after this? One disciple who was standing close to Swami Kriyananda, Master came to him at that moment and tapped him on his shoulder and said, why are you crying over that body? And this person was stunned. Then all of them slowly but surely left that place. Only Daya Mata was left. And she was praying in front of him, and at that time, from the left eye of Master, one tear escaped. And she took a hanky and caught hold of that tear, and she kept that hanky throughout with her in her life. What was Master trying to say? Go above this body. Go within, understand God's love, and expand in that love. That is what we all are here for. When you will feel that God's love, it will emanate from you. You not have to. Do these masters have to go and tell anyone? No. Anyone who's attuned understands it. And that is exactly what will be our consideration. In that love, we cannot help but to love others. Because God, through people who are close to us, are trying to teach us something. Remember this. Any and every time someone irritates you, makes you angry, makes you feel something, first ask this question: what is God trying to teach me through this person? And always ask this question: what is God trying to teach me through this person? Not what God is telling me how to change this person. You will have understood. The responsibility to change is God's and Guru's. You can be a channel. And if you do become a channel, you will be blessed with such immense love that you will at times have to say, stop it. I can't handle so much love. Because that is what God's love is all about. So thank you so much, Ji.